In the annals of international diplomacy, few events have captivated the world's attention quite like former US President Donald Trump's audacious bid to purchase Greenland. This unprecedented proposal, first revealed in 2019, sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles and ignited a firestorm of controversy. Trump's interest in acquiring the world's largest island, a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark, stemmed from a complex interplay of geopolitical ambitions, economic considerations, and perhaps a touch of real estate mogul's instinct. Trump's Greenland Gambit was not a passing fancy. He repeatedly expressed his desire to acquire the Arctic territory, even going so far as to threaten Denmark with tariffs, and suggesting the possibility of military force. These pronouncements were met with a mixture of amusement and alarm by the international community, and they strained relations between the United States and Denmark, a long-standing NATO ally. The Greenland saga was a stark reminder of the Trump administration's unconventional approach to foreign policy. It also underscored the growing strategic importance of the Arctic region, a vast and rapidly changing frontier increasingly seen as a new arena for geopolitical competition. Trump's interest in Greenland was not entirely unfounded. The island's vast mineral resources, including rare earth elements crucial for modern technology, have long been a source of interest for global powers. Moreover, Greenland's strategic location along vital shipping lanes and its proximity to the Arctic Circle, an area experiencing rapid climate change and opening up new possibilities for resource extraction and navigation, made it a valuable prize in Trump's eyes. Greenland, the world's largest island, holds a unique and increasingly significant position on the global geopolitical chessboard. Situated between the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans, it serves as a literal and figurative bridge between North America and Europe. Its vast ice sheet, containing about 10% of the world's freshwater reserves, plays a crucial role in regulating global climate patterns. However, it is the island's changing environment and potential resources that have thrust it into the spotlight of international attention. The Arctic, once considered a remote and inhospitable region, is undergoing a dramatic transformation due to climate change. The melting of sea ice is opening up new shipping routes and creating opportunities for resource extraction. Greenland, with its vast reserves of oil, gas, rare earth minerals, and other valuable resources, is poised to play a pivotal role in this new Arctic frontier. Greenland's strategic location further amplifies its importance. It sits astride vital sea lanes connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, making it a potential choke point for global trade and naval operations. This strategic significance has not been lost on major powers, including the United States, Russia, and China, all of whom are vying for influence in the Arctic. The United States, with its long history of engagement in the Arctic, sees Greenland as a vital link in its national security chain. Russia, with its extensive Arctic coastline and military presence in the region, views Greenland as part of its strategic backyard. China, despite its geographical distance from the Arctic, has declared itself a near-Arctic state and is actively seeking to expand its economic and geopolitical footprint in the region. Greenland's geopolitical importance is further heightened by its unique political status. It is a self-governing territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, with its own parliament and control over most domestic affairs. However, Denmark retains control over Greenland's foreign policy and defense. This delicate balance of power creates a complex dynamic, with Greenland seeking to assert its autonomy while navigating the interests of larger powers. Beyond its geopolitical significance, Greenland is a nation grappling with its own internal dynamics and aspirations. Home to a predominantly Inuit population of around 56,000, Greenland has a distinct culture and identity shaped by centuries of life in the Arctic. For decades, a growing movement for independence has been gaining momentum within Greenland. Greenlanders yearn for self-determination, seeking to chart their own course and control their own destiny. The desire for independence is rooted in a complex mix of factors, including cultural preservation, economic self-reliance, and a yearning for greater control over their own affairs. Greenland's economy is heavily reliant on fishing, which accounts for a significant portion of its GDP and employment. Tourism, mining, and government subsidies also play important roles. However, Greenland faces significant economic challenges, including high unemployment, limited infrastructure, and a dependence on Danish financial assistance. The prospect of independence raises both hopes and concerns among Greenlanders. While many view it as a path to greater prosperity and self-determination, others worry about the economic and political viability of an independent Greenland. The question of how an independent Greenland would manage its vast natural resources, navigate complex geopolitical relationships, and ensure its own security remains a subject of intense debate. Greenland's internal political landscape reflects these complexities. The country's politics are dominated by a handful of parties with varying stances on independence, economic development, and social issues. The current government, led by Prime Minister Mute Borup Ejid, has taken a cautious approach to independence, prioritizing economic development and social progress as prerequisites for any potential separation from Denmark. Donald Trump's unsolicited bid to purchase Greenland in 2019 triggered a diplomatic firestorm, exposing the raw nerves of international relations and igniting a global debate about sovereignty, colonialism, and the Arctic's future. Denmark, caught off guard by Trump's pronouncements, responded with a swift and unequivocal rejection. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen dismissed the idea as absurd and a non-starter, asserting that Greenland was not for sale. The Danish government's firm stance was met with widespread support both domestically and internationally, reaffirming the principle of national sovereignty in the face of an unconventional power play. Greenland's leaders were equally dismissive of Trump's proposal. Prime Minister Kim Kielsen, while acknowledging the importance of maintaining strong relations with the United States, emphasized that Greenland was not a bargaining chip and that any decisions about its future would be made by the Greenlandic people. The international community largely reacted to Trump's Greenland Gambit with a mixture of amusement and concern. Some observers saw it as yet another example of the Trump administration's impulsive and transactional approach to foreign policy, while others viewed it as a sign of the United States' growing interest in securing its strategic interests in the Arctic. Section 5. Greenland speaks. A divided public opinion. While Greenland's political leaders presented a united front in rejecting Trump's purchase offer, public opinion within Greenland was more nuanced and divided. The prospect of increased American investment and engagement in Greenland's economy held appeal for some, while others viewed it with suspicion, fearing a loss of autonomy and cultural identity. Those in favor of closer ties with the United States argued that it could bring much-needed investment in infrastructure, education, and healthcare, boosting Greenland's struggling economy and creating new opportunities for its people. They pointed to the potential for job creation in sectors such as mining, tourism, and energy, arguing that closer cooperation with the United States could help Greenland achieve greater economic self-reliance. However, opponents of increased American influence expressed concerns about the potential downsides of such a relationship. They worried that Greenland could become overly reliant on the United States, jeopardizing its hard-won autonomy and becoming entangled in geopolitical rivalries. They also raised concerns about the potential environmental impact of large-scale mining and resource extraction, fearing that it could damage Greenland's pristine environment and threaten the traditional way of life of its indigenous population. The debate over Greenland's future and its relationship with the United States highlighted the complex challenges facing this Arctic nation as it navigates its way through a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. Section 6. Beyond the headlines, the real issues facing Greenland. While the international media spotlight focused on the sensational headlines surrounding Trump's Greenland ambitions, the real issues facing Greenland run far deeper than the geopolitical maneuvering of distant powers. Climate change poses an existential threat to Greenland's way of life. The melting of the Greenland ice sheet is causing sea levels to rise, threatening coastal communities and impacting traditional hunting and fishing grounds. The changing climate is also affecting wildlife populations, disrupting ecosystems and posing new challenges for Greenland's delicate environment. Greenland's social challenges are equally pressing. The country struggles with high rates of alcoholism, suicide, and domestic violence, particularly among its youth. These social ills are rooted in a complex web of factors, including historical trauma, cultural dislocation, and limited economic opportunities. Despite its vast natural resources, Greenland faces significant economic challenges. Unemployment is high, particularly among young people, and the economy is heavily dependent on fishing and Danish subsidies. Developing a more diversified and sustainable economy is crucial for Greenland's long-term prosperity and self-reliance. Greenland's future hinges on its ability to address these pressing challenges. Investing in education, healthcare, and social programs is essential to building a brighter future for Greenland's people. Developing sustainable industries and diversifying the economy will be crucial for reducing dependence on foreign aid and creating new opportunities for economic growth. And addressing the impacts of climate change will require a concerted global effort, with Greenland playing a leading role in advocating for its own interests and the future of the Arctic. Section 7. A new Arctic chapter: US-Greenland relations in the post-Trump era. With the departure of Donald Trump from the White House, a new chapter has begun in US-Greenland relations. The Biden administration has sought to reset relations with Greenland, emphasizing cooperation and mutual respect over transactional diplomacy. The Biden administration has made it clear that it recognizes Greenland's strategic importance and its desire for self-determination. The United States has pledged to work with Greenland as a partner and ally, supporting its efforts to address its economic and social challenges and to adapt to the impacts of climate change. One tangible sign of this renewed engagement was the reopening of the US consulate in Nuuk, Greenland's capital, in 2021. The consulate, which had been closed since 1953, serves as a symbol of the United States' commitment to strengthening ties with Greenland and deepening cooperation on issues of mutual interest. The United States has also increased its economic assistance to Greenland, providing funding for projects in areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure development. The US has also expressed interest in collaborating with Greenland on scientific research and environmental protection in the Arctic. Section 8. Navigating the future: cooperation and challenges in the Arctic. As the Arctic undergoes rapid transformation, the United States and Greenland face both opportunities and challenges in navigating their relationship in this strategically important region. Cooperation on climate change mitigation and adaptation will be paramount. The United States and Greenland can work together to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, invest in renewable energy, and develop strategies for adapting to the impacts of climate change that are already being felt in the Arctic. Sustainable economic development is another area where the United States and Greenland can find common ground. The United States can support Greenland's efforts to diversify its economy, develop its natural resources responsibly, and create new opportunities for its people. However, navigating these opportunities will require sensitivity to Greenland's desire for self-determination and respect for its unique culture and identity. The United States must avoid the mistakes of the past, where colonial powers exploited Greenland's resources for their own gain. The Arctic is also becoming an increasingly contested geopolitical space, with Russia and China seeking to expand their influence in the region. The United States and Greenland must work together to ensure that the Arctic remains a zone of peace and cooperation where international law and norms are upheld. Section 9. Conclusion: a saga unfolding. The story of US-Greenland relations is a saga still unfolding, shaped by a complex interplay of history, geopolitics, economics, and the aspirations of the Greenlandic people. While the Trump era may have brought a brief and tumultuous chapter to this relationship, the underlying dynamics of the Arctic region ensure that the United States and Greenland will remain inextricably linked. As the Arctic continues to undergo rapid transformation, the United States and Greenland have a shared interest in working together to address the challenges and opportunities of this strategically important region. By embracing cooperation, respecting each other's interests, and prioritizing the well-being of the Arctic's people and environment, the United States and Greenland can forge a new chapter in their relationship, one based on partnership, mutual respect, and a shared vision for a sustainable and prosperous Arctic future. The world will be watching as this Arctic saga continues to unfold, a reminder that even in the most remote corners of the globe, the decisions made and the relationships forged have the power to shape the course of history.